Welcome to another bookish video from me, Johanna, me, my dog and books. Oh, I think I need to put you up a bit. What is going on with my camera today? I think I'm at a weird angle. We just need to go with it, pals, we'll just need to go with it. Today, I'm coming on to tell you all about my... the fact that that did not fall over is a goodness damn miracle. Look at the doggos. Let's see. Patty cakes. Now I'm going to have to try and get you straight again. Hopefully that's... Oh. Right. Today I'm going to share with you my autumn reading plans, or roughly my autumn reading plans. And I'm not really going to call it TBR, because if I even just look around some of the books I've picked up that I kind of want to read this autumn, which will take me right up until at least my birthday, which is middle of November. Because no Christmas reading can commence before then. I refuse point blank. So this is between now and November. It's just some of the kind of reading I'd like to do in autumn. One, I would say my favourite season, so is winter. In order of my preference, it's the seasons I love are autumn, winter and spring. And then least, but I don't hate it, is summer. Anyway, talking of summer, I know this isn't hot for some people, right? But if you live in Scotland, 20 plus degrees is hot, and currently that is the temperature this week. I was ready, I'm ready for autumn sweater weather, but no, the weather is telling me otherwise. Life update for anyone who doesn't know, still don't have a car, haven't had a car since the start of August. We're waiting on our new one. I hate cars, just want one that works. So yeah, but the 08 is going to hire one for a week or so because we are not close to public transport and it's making it very challenging. But we're to keep money down, we're getting a tiny one and only he'll be registered drive, which is fine by me as long as he can drive me about places like the train station. So anyway, that's a life update. Doggos are in their element. They've been walked. I'm awfully hot and bothered today. Even I think this is too hot, but I might have to wear this to work in the office tomorrow. I am working today, so this is doing this on my lunch hour. Anyways, ramble chat. This is not the best way to start a video, FYI. But I wanted to share with you the kind of stuff that I like to read in autumn, which is anything that gives me autumn vibes. Spooky I read all year round, but you know, it is officially the season where you can get full spooky. So definitely spooky, scary books. Anything set around autumn, kind of into winter. Middle grade horror. Do you know, some middle grade horror is amazing and I'll touch on some of them. This is in no random order, but I might have mentioned this, actually I have mentioned this in my weekend reading vlog that's coming up after this video, which is the latest Augustina Bazterrica. She's a literary horror writer. It's a new book, The Unworthy, which comes out in March 2025. I've got an advance copy because basically I pretty much in the last few of her books. She's only had two other books. Tender as the Flesh, one of my favourites. 19 Claws and a Blackbird, which is a short story horror collection, and then this is her new one. So the publisher has kindly remembered the fact that I adore this author and has sent this to me. In this book you follow, which is quite a small one, actually all of her books are to date, you follow an unworthy, so she's low in the hierarchy within a secretive, violent religious order. In this order, she wants, in what feels like effectively a convent. She wants to try and document her life there. In this convent, she feels punished but safe, because in the outside world it's utter chaos. I think it's like climate disaster chaos, like, you know, in some places of the world just now. So this is a must read, at least, if not this month, definitely next month. And then I've got another arc that I got from Welbeck as a publisher. I think they definitely do children's books, and I love the sound of this. It's called Young Gothic by M.A. Bennett. And it says, you've heard of Frankenstein's monster, you've heard of Dracula, but have you heard of Villa Diodati? 4 strangers are invited to spend an unforgettable summer at the birthplace of all things Gothic. The Villa Diodati is a beautiful isolated lake residence, but it hides a dark heart. And this just looks like fun Gothic and absolutely for spooky season. Talking of middle grades, a series that I adore. I'm not even sure I've read book 2 yet, because I plan to, is Fright Watch by Lorien Lawrence. Also a lovely author. I've read The Stitchers, where you follow a 13-year-old Quinn Parker and her buddy, what's her buddy's name? Mike. And they live in this neighbourhood where all the old people don't seem to get older. You know, they seem sinister. So Quinn and her BFF Mike decide to unearth what the heck is wrong with the old people in their neighbourhood. It's so much fun. It's actually quite scary. And so the next one is called The Collectors. And I think you follow both of them. Yeah, Quinn and Mike again, who are a great twosome. So I'm very excited to read book 2. I think these are great horrors for young people. I would say middle grade, so that's probably, is that 9 till 12 year olds? So, and then on the YA front, I picked this up when I was at Edinburgh Book Festival, and I thought, this is a slasher that looks so much fun, plus spreadsheets. It's called The Blonde Dies. The Blonde Dies First by Joelle. Wellington says, being murdered was not on the summer bucket list. Devon is determined to give her twin sister Drew the best summer ever before she heads off to college, no matter the cost. So when a Ouija board is pulled out, an exclusive private party, the twins are game. After all, it's just about harmless fun. Well, I think, given the title and that bit of the synopsis, no Ouija board is about harmless fun, says me. So there's books like that are on my autumn reading sort of plans. So young adult, middle grade. So absolutely, I'm rereading this just now. Rereading Clown in a Cornfield 1 on audio, and then I'm going to read 2, so that I kind of start the 3rd. The Church of Frendo. Clown in a Cornfield 3. So I'm just totally going to immerse myself on young adult horror, middle grade horror, or like mystery. Mysteries are always good in autumn, in my opinion. And actually, one kind of series I'd recommend. I'm not going to read the next one because it's more, I'll keep it for winter, but this is a great middle grade series. It's called The Haunting of Aveline Jones, and then I've got the other 2 after this, and I've not read it. This is a perfect one for autumn. It says, turn on your torches and join Aveline Jones. Aveline Jones loves reading ghost stories, so a dreary half-term becomes much more exciting when she discovers a spooky old book. Not only are the stories spine-tingling, but it belongs to a girl called Primrose, who vanished mysteriously, never to be seen again. So this creates intrigue with regards to Aveline, and she decides to investigate Primrose's disappearance with some help from her friend Harold. It is a lovely middle grade book, which reminds me, I have another one here which I've been meaning to read for at least the last 3 autumns and still not done it, and it looks cute as, and it's Pax by Sara Pennypacker. Pennypacker? Look at that cover. I've no idea what it's about. I think I got it second hand. Definitely middle grade. It said, I have a fox. We left him on the side of the road. My dad said we had to, but I should never have done it. Pax and Peter have been inseparable ever since Peter rescued him as a cub. But when Peter is forced to return his fox to the wild, his world is torn apart. Despite the encroaching war and the 300 miles between them, Peter sets out to find his fox. Meanwhile, Pax waits hopefully for his boy. Ah, these are the kind of like cosy, lovely. I mean, this is not so much a mystery. This is a mystery, so I'm up for that. And then another one I actually got this from when I was down in Harrogate, by the author Chris Riddell, who illustrates Coraline, but we can't talk about that right now, and has their own book series. And it says the most esteemed authors in the world are coming to show off their pampered pooches at the Ghastly Gorm Hall Literary Dog Show. That sounds right on my street, doesn't it? But there's something strange afoot at Ghastly Gorm. Mysterious paw prints, howls in the night, and some suspiciously chewed shoes. Can Ada work out what's going on before the next full moon? This is Goth Girl. Now, this is a series, but I don't know if this is number 1 in the series. It doesn't tell me, does it? No, it just goes straight in, which implies to me, so it says first published in 2015. I'm looking at the back, but I don't. No. Also available, it says Goth Girl and the Ghost of a Mouse and Goth Girl and the Fate Worse Than Death. I might have to Google. If anyone's read these, let me know. My lovely friend Bethany recommended it when I saw it in a second-hand bookshop in the children's section, and I was like, I'm having that. So those are the kind of reading plans I want to have for autumn. Anything that's set in autumn, anything that is spooky, ghost stories, kids books, young adult books like the latest Stephen Graham-Jones, which I got out as soon as it came out and haven't read it. Story of my life. I mean, who isn't that the story of their life if they're a bookish geek like me? This is basically kind of roughly it's not autobiographical, but Stephen Graham-Jones kind of relates a lot of his growing up in this story. So you follow Tolly Driver, a 17-year-old, a good kid with more potential than application, exists on the outskirts with his best friend, Amber. They navigate the hellscape of teenage social scenes, sticking together in a place that doesn't know how to be different. I mean, I think I could have I could have done with a book like this when I was a teenager. I was so geeky and not cool. But then they go to a fateful party at Deke Masterson's house. At the party, a party that ends in a series of gruesome, brutal and extravagant murders. Tolly's world is flipped upside down because some slashers are born in violence and retribution, and some were born that way. And some were just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Now, if autumn isn't the time to read slashers, like the perfect time to read slashers, when is? I mean, I will read slashers all year round, but, and then look at the blurb and the kudos this gets. In addition to slasher type books, you've got to read all the witchy books, and I got this one by Kirsty Logan when I was at a book event for an author called El Nash, who wrote Deliver Me. Highly recommend. It's very disturbing. But one of the other authors that were at the event is Kirsty Logan. She's a Scottish author, and this seems, I love stories about witches, which is fundamentally a story of, well, witches we all know was the patriarch's way of dealing with women back in the day, and still technically to today. So this one is called, this is a witch story unlike, well, it's called Now She Is Witch, and says, this is a story like no other. Lux has lost everything when Elsa finds her alone in the woods. Her family, her lover, her home, all burned. The world is suspicious of women like her, but Lux is cunning. She knows how to blend into the background, and she knows a lot about poisons. I mean, look at that cover. So this is a kind of, I mean, I've actually still got the XX somewhere, and even though I'm talking to you with my head to the back of you, how bad is that? The Hickes I'm sure I've got somewhere, and even though it's romance, I think it's closed door. If someone can confirm in the comments, that would be muchos appreciated, because I don't do romance generally, and when I do, it has to be closed door. But I got given the Hickes by a friend ages ago, like 2 Halloweens ago, and I've still not read it. And I'm 99% sure I've still got it. Anyway, ghost stories, witch stories, possession stories, all slasher stories, haunted house stories. Has anyone read this? I got this from the library. It's overdue. It says, going home is always hard. For Vera, going home means returning to the notorious Crowder house where her serial killer father murdered his victims and buried their bodies beneath. Then notes start to appear in Vera's father's handwriting, but they can't be from him because he's been dead for years. This cover gives me all the spooky season vibes. Has anyone read it? I've not read anything by this author, I don't think. Sarah Gailey. I need to read some of these soon. I've got so much out from the library I've not read. This is a story of monsters and what they do to those who love them, those who fear them, and those who are simply in the wrong place at the wrong time or from a different perspective. Those who are in the right place at the right time. Serendipity is as cruel as it is kind. This book is dedicated to anyone who has ever loved a monster. Look, that's by Sarah Gailey. Has anyone read that? The Echo Wife. Anyway, so that's in the mix. And then these two, which are new ones. House at the Bottom of the Lake by Josh Malerman, who wrote Bird Box, which I adored. And Josh Malerman is a horror author who I really like. He also wrote Incidents Around the House, which is here and I'm desperate to get to. There's so many books and not enough time. And then there's this one that I made a special request from the library to read. It's also good spreadsheets, check it. So given that people might be wanting to read such books at Halloween and the likes, I better get reading this, honestly. I think this is, yeah. It's about making of a horror movie, I think possible found footage. Unconfirmed. But I'm here for it. I keep meaning to read A Head Full of Ghosts, which is another book he's written. And I get it out from the library and it's quite big and I've never got round to reading it yet. So if anyone has read it, recommends it, let me know. I, of course, will be adding more decorations. So, I mean, reading plans, I just want to be immersed in Halloween-esque things like Halloween stuff in the house. Indulging in all the horror books, all the spooky books, horror movies. I've already started actually. Last night we watched Speak No Evil, which is the original film, that the new film with James McAvoy that's just came out. Certainly here in the UK, I think it's came out in the US, Canada at the same time. The original is a Danish movie. I don't mind subtitles, but actually I would say 3/4 of the movie, the Danish movie, the original one, is in English because they speak English, and then there's intermittents or subtitles for anyone that maybe isn't sure about trying. I'm not sure if I'll watch the remake because this one was so good. 5-star in the horror department, but I would say it was one of those movies, like, even by halfway, my heart was in my mouth. I was like so anxious and the whole viewing experience was stressful. The ending was phenomenal but brutal and dark. Outstanding. So I want to be watching more of these as well as intersplicing it with, you know, the likes of Shaun of the Dead, Beetlejuice 2, still not seen it yet, need to. Hocus Pocus, of course. So just like my book reading, I kind of go from my autumn sort of cozy time plans are middle grade, intense horror, spooky, mystery, cosy, anything with autumn vibes. You know, the cosy blankets, the cinnamon spice coffee, pumpkin spice if that's your thing too, candles, except I need to use these wee electric ones on my bookcase because I've nearly set stuff on fire before, so can only have candles in the bath, to be honest, right next to a source of water because I can't be trusted. Getting into my cross stitching, I've got, wait, I'll show you. I've got the perfect haunted house cross stitch to get stuck into, so I need to finish my Bookish one. Which, did I do any cross stitch while I was away for my Bookish weekend? Of course not. Did I take it with me? Yes. Did I get to it? No. So yeah, lots of grand plans. Maybe some baking. I need to get into like some cinnamon banana buns, muffins. Pumpkin picking, that's on the to-do. Wait till you see, so I'll not start putting them on the doggos yet, but wait till you see the range of Halloween neckerchiefs the kids have got. Just collected them over the years, not expensive. So be doing that. Won't we, kids? They're actually just totally zonked out and not listening to me. So yes, this was supposed to be my autumn reading plans, but fundamentally it's just my autumn plans, which are to read a lot, to watch spooky movies, to watch fun stuff, light-hearted stuff, cosy stuff, to remain cosy, to get the sweaters out as soon as the sweater weather comes back, maybe bake, do some cosy, wholesome stuff, cosy socks, cosy PJs, everything cosy. I'm here for it. And I apologise if, you know, autumn is not your favourite season. You might not indulge as much as I do, but honestly, try and take the moments where you have them and really embrace the autumnness. It's a beautiful time of year. The colours, everything, nature's so pretty. I'm going to have to keep on top of my garden in respect of, I think some of my seeds haven't made it, you know. I think I was a bit late in putting some in my wee temporary greenhouse. So anyway, I mean, that's what's coming up in my autumn life. Mostly my reading plans, and I need to get back into my baking. Let me know if you like it when I do any baking. I say baking, not bacon. And also, what do you do in autumn? Do you have any kind of things you look forward to? What are your kind of autumn plans, life plans, your autumn reading plans? Do you go pumpkin picking? Do you just ignore all of that and want to hibernate until the spring? Let me know, because I'd love to chat to you about it, because this is seriously my favourite season. And I'm going to be going full autumnal as soon as the weather will abide, which it was until this weekend and this week. So someone speak to the weather. They've not got the memo. We're middle of September. It's now time. The pumpkins need us. Anyway, this was just a random ad hoc, what's my autumn plans, generally chatty video with you. I hope you enjoyed it. You didn't ask for it, but let me know if there's ones you do actually want me to do, and I'll be a bit more planned. But this was just so I can drop into your little screens and chat to you about something I really love, which is everything autumn. And then let me know what your reading plans are too. What are you reading just now? And if you got this far, leave me either a pumpkin or an autumn leaf emoji. And as always, thank you for watching, liking, and if you subscribe, thank you very much. And if you don't and would like to see more of this, please do so by hitting the clicky button. And I'll see you for another video very soon. Bye!